All right, welcome back, kings and queens, y'all. Today we are talking the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yes, I had to spin the block on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And listen, Shamea is a liar. Okay. I was rooting so hard for Shamea. I was rooting so hard for Shamea. I thought this was going to be her year. I thought it was a fantastic decision on the behalf of Bravo that they brought her on. And man, when I tell you I was cheering from the rafters, I was cheering from the rafters. But as the season began to go on, and first of all, let me say this, Andy, you lied to us. You lied to us. When you were in New York and you were walking out of the building, a fan stopped you. She held a camera to your face. She said, "Hey, listen, is Kenya Moore coming back? Da 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 da." And she asked you, she said, what are you going to do without Kenya Moore? Andy, you said this season is so good that we have to just wait for it. We've been waiting, and we are on episode 11. Now, come to find out, y'all are already shooting a reunion. Child, we are still waiting. Well, at least I am. I can't speak on the behalf of the people. Let me just say, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for it to get really good because right now it doesn't make sense to me. None of it makes sense. And now I understand why. It's contrived, it's fakery. And now I understand why Portia's attitude has been sub zero when it comes to Shamea, y'all. Y'all, listen. We're about to talk about it. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
Shamea is a master manipulator, in my opinion. And I'm shocked that I'm even saying this because my heart was wide open for Shamea. But when things don't make sense to me, I'm the type, I just like to sit back, relax, and watch and just try to connect the dots. And it just didn't make sense between her and Porsha. Now, let's be very clear. I'm not saying Porsha is innocent. I'm not saying Porsha does not have strikes against her. But what I am saying is Shamea is not innocent. Shamea is the type, she throws rocks, she holds her hands, she's a master manipulator, she likes to orchestrate, and she's the snake behind the scenes that sets you up to fall. She knows exactly what she's done. She knows exactly what she did. And the disappointing thing about it all, she wasn't woman enough to stand on it. She wasn't woman enough to stand on it. She is the girl that cried wolf, and she allowed everybody else to take the ball and score a touchdown while she sat in the corner and cried like a little baby and pretended she did not know why Porsha did not want to be her friend. Shamea is full of it. Shamea is full of it. And why do you say that, Queen Sheba? Somebody pinged me, okay? They pinged me and they asked me, listen, would you watch this interview between Carlos King and Drew? And I think I said yes. I can't remember if I said yes or no. But the point is, I had time to watch it. I watched the interview. First of all, let me say the interview, Drew is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I'm talking about head to toe. Drew is just such a beautiful woman. And as I'm looking at her, she's striking, naturally striking. Okay. Okay. And it hit me in that moment. I said, that's why Portia's mad. Portia's mad because Drew is naturally beautiful. Portia's beautiful too, with enhancements. Okay. Drew is just striking. And I think Portia's feeling some kind of way about Drew's aesthetics. And it wasn't that Drew, in my opinion, I believe, wanted Dennis. I think you were scared that Dennis may have had a thing for Drew because of her beauty. Her beauty is mesmerizing, number one. Number two, I think Drew did an awesome job in this interview. She seemed to be very relaxed. She had a moment that was very real, extremely emotional. Carlos threw out a questionnaire about, do you feel like Ralph love bombed you or gaslighted you from the, I think you meant love bomb, but you said gaslight, Carlos. But I think you meant love bomb. And he asked her, we're talking like 5 minutes into the interview. And of course, she had a very real moment and she had to take her time to compose herself. Thank you for keeping it real, Drew. Thank you for keeping it real. I have always liked Drew. Now, Carlos did say in his interview, he said, this is your best season. This is your best season ever. I don't know if I agree that it's her best season. I would probably say, and I'm not saying he's wrong, for me as a viewer and as a blogger, I'm going to say it's her realest season. It's probably one of the realest seasons that she's had since she's been on the show. Okay. She gave us a lot of information regarding her intent for coming on the show. And it seems like Ralph was working a different agenda when it came to Drew. So overall, I thought it was a very good interview. I like how the interview started off very light, carefree, playful. I chuckled. It was good. They met in the studio. I just like the different ambiance. There was one thing I wish Carlos hadn't said. It's not my interview, it's his interview. But I think he said it because sometimes men just don't know. And it doesn't matter if you're gay, or you really it's not. And the reason why I say it doesn't matter if you're gay, because it doesn't mean that you have more insight or more understanding of a woman because of your sexual orientation. That proved to be false, because somewhere in the interview, I don't have the direct timestamp, but Carlos told her, "I don't think Ralph likes you." I wish you hadn't said that. And she, it's not a big she didn't seem that it bothered her. She's already going through enough right now at this point. I'm sure she's very confused and conflicted, and just wondering, how in the hell did we get here? Don't add on to it, Carlos. Some things you just don't say. And that was one of them. No woman wants to hear that her husband doesn't like her. Do we all agree with that? Hell yeah. Do we need to say it? Not right now. It's not a good time, or at least not on camera. Okay. So that's the only thing that gave me a cringe moment, where I was like, damn, oh no, no, no. But she recovered. It didn't seem to bother her. She was very upfront that the reason why she did this interview with Carlos is because she felt like he brought a sense of personalization to his interviews. And she felt like overall the empathy was there, and he cares. Okay. So I really liked her. I like how she showed up poised, extremely poised, very professional in this interview. And it just makes me like Drew, even more. I don't care if she's a liar. I don't care if she's not a liar. I just like her. That's it. That's all. Okay. Now, this is the part where I would like to shift into, where I say Shamea is a liar. This entire season, Shamea has said she doesn't have a problem with Porsha. Um, Portia is the one that's kind of flipped on her. Portia is the one that has changed. Portia, and all of us have fallen for it, right? We've all fallen for it. We've all listened. We've crucified Portia, but enough is enough. And I'm trying to be fair. Shamea is a liar, and she's a master manipulator. And I hate to say it, but I was listening to the House of Aaron, and he said somebody called him. Okay, you can go to his page and listen to the interview. He said he got a call this past weekend, and somebody gave him the scoop, honey, on why Miss Diane and Miss Sarah do not get along. Let me bring you up to speed. Miss Diane is Portia's mother. Miss Sarah is Shamea's mother. Now, I've been saying from day one, there is something with these mothers. It is something with these mothers. Come to find out, according to the House of Aaron, Shamea's mother was a snake when it came to Miss Diane. She went behind Miss Diane's back and bought her business, or bought the building right from underneath her feet, didn't tell her as a friend, didn't try to buy it from her, let it go to the auction block, didn't tell her, and then became her competitor in the market as it relates to daycare buildings, okay? And daycare centers. And that's why they fell out. They never talked again. And that's according to the House of Aaron and his source. When Ms. Diane says the apple don't fall too far from the tree, that's what she's referring to. It doesn't seem like it has anything to do with the man, but what it seems as if Miss Diane Mendoza, haha, I call her Diane Mendoza, is trying to tell Portia, listen, don't let the smooth taste fool you when it comes to Shamea, because Shamea, honey, is a snake, and you better keep your grass cut so that you can see when she rears her head. Now, let's get into it. I want to point out in this interview a huge discrepancy between what we are seeing betrayed on the screen from Shamea, and what Shamea actually does behind the scenes, y'all, to conjure up shit and mess against Portia. Yes, the hand that rocks the cradle. Let's go.
Like for you to clear the air on this as well. Angela Oakley, your Chi-Town sis. Don't you love Angela?
I love it. Oh my God. I tried to get Angela on a few seasons ago.
I tried to tell the girls that we were trying to get Angela. I don't know about season 3. I was watching it back. I'm like, I don't know about season 3, but maybe it was season 6.
Okay.
But we tried to get Angela. I would get calls about Angela Oakley.
Yeah.
I think it's when she first started dating Charles. Like, think
Okay, it sounds like 10 years ago they tried to get Angela on. Angela has been a pivotal partner, I'm going to say, with Bravo in exposing some of the stuff that these girls do not want to be displayed on camera. Why is that important? What are you here for if you are not going to give us your real life? And if you're putting out just a little bit here and a little bit there, and we're sitting back saying something else has to be missing because this does not make any sense. I'm glad Angela didn't come then because Charles took her through a lot 10 years ago. However long ago they were trying to get her on the show. She would not have been ready. It would have been a huge flop and they would have eaten her alive. Now she's ready. Now she's settled in. Let's get back into it.
I think it was like 2015. No,
that would be about right. Well,
yeah. But long story short, you tried to get her on. Like, I remember us trying to get her on.
Yep.
But I digress.
She's here now.
She's here now. She's doing a great job. So Angela revealed.
Watch this. Remember, Shamea doesn't know anything. She loves Porsha. I don't know why Portia's acting the way she does. It's Portia's fault. It's Portia's fault. Let's go.
That you, her, and Shamea had dinner one night, and that allegedly Shamea put out her pinky finger and said what exactly? What did she say?
We did all that. That's exactly what happened.
So all three. So it was like
it was given.
It was given Power Rangers.
Yes,
so it was given that, and then it was like unite activation.
So Drew is confirming, yeah, we all went to dinner, me, Angela, Shamea. And Shamea, listen, Shamea told us, listen, I want to say something. But y'all got to promise not to say shit. And they said, okay. And they all did the pinky swear. And y'all know what the pinky swear is. That's what we do in high school, college, and middle school. Not calling it childish, but when you do the pinky swear, that means, girl, I'm not going to say a word. Y'all, here we are in this interview with Drew spilling the tea, but let's go.
It was actually, Angela said she had her fingers crossed behind her back.
Because Angela don't trust some girls. I watched the show.
Listen, I pinky swear because Shamea and I have known each other. And I feel like we have grown to build what I would consider a friendship over the years. Angela, like, I don't know you. I just met you yesterday. So I love her energy. But Shamea and I have built a rapport and a friendship over the years. But it was like this wrestling with Shamea is the best way I could put it into words. It was a wrestling. And we had a cocktail or two. And she felt vulnerable. And I feel like she felt comfortable. And she needed to get this out.
So this was before the season started, okay? Shamea is about to lay down the game plan of how she plans to come on to the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
And so she was like, I need us to pinky swear because what I'm about to tell you, I need to feel like I'm in a safe space. So we pinky sweared. I'm like, what's wrong, you know? And she went on to tell us that she felt like, you know, she needed to be real and address the issues that she has in her friendship with Porsha.
Pause, AKA ambush, pause, AKA that's how I'm coming on the show. I'm coming on the show. And I'm going to ambush her. I'm here now. What's she going to do about it? Let's continue.
She went on to say how she didn't want to come across as though now she's got a peach and she's here and now she's going to tear down her friend who helped.
But I got to be careful of how I do it because now I have a peach. And if I'm too direct and if I'm too aggressive, the fans aren't going to like it. Boom. The fans aren't going to like it. So I got to figure out a way to hand Porsha or nail her ass to the cross. I'm going to get my leg back.
Helped her to get on the show. She didn't want the fans to...
See, Porsha helped me get on the show, and I don't want to appear ungrateful. So I got to watch myself. I got to show myself to be a damsel in distress. Otherwise, it's going to look real bad. But the fact of the matter is, I'm here to ambush. I'm here to start some shit. And I'm going to play like I'm this nice girl. I'm Atlanta's best friend. But here we go.
come for her in that way to feel like she's ungrateful or a bad friend. So I can tell you she was considering the fans and the look of how it would come across.
She wanted to keep her image. But her agenda, y'all, her heart posture was not right. I told y'all Shamea is a liar, but let's go.
As we see now, she's talking, because she's like, okay, I'm in a good place. But then she was just like, this is Porsha's show. She's the HBIC. And I don't know if this is a good idea, but this is the real. And
let's just say, I'm gonna just call it what it is. It's calculating. It's a very calculated move. It's a blind sight. Porsha brought you on this season, and you sitting at another table with other women talking about your plan to blindside her. Let me be honest with you. If I was Porsha in this moment, I would feel some kind of way too. I knew it did not make any sense what was going on. Shamea sat her ass down and pre-gamed of how she could blindside Porsha, but she wanted to do it in a way that she did not frustrate or upset the viewers, okay? Now, make it make sense to me when your friend gets you the job and you're working in the background to figure out how to tear it all down, even going as far as calling her, okay, she's the HBIC. This her shit. She brought me in, but I'm still about to take her ass down. That's diabolical.
And she went on to say that, the friendship is not in the place that everyone thinks that it's in. She was hurt by the fact that Porsha didn't come.
Okay. Shamea is a liar because on camera she said, I want the Porsha that's not on camera. You came on this mofo knowing that y'all weren't in a good place. Watch this. You're pre-gaming, laying out your strategy. So Porsha deserves even more credit because if Porsha really wasn't that cool with you and still extended her name and referred you for this show, girl, you got your nerve. So you mean to tell me you and Porsha really weren't that cool, right? And she still recommended you? To me, it seems like Porsha would be the better friend in that moment. And y'all, Porsha has done some dirt. And if, man,
come to her wedding. She was hurt by the fact that Porsha did not ever congratulate her for getting a peach.
She's mad because Porsha didn't come to her wedding 10 years ago. How come you didn't settle that 10 years ago? You sat on that. Shamea is not the good friend. And now I think I have a deeper understanding of why Mama Diane Mendoza said, watch the dog that bring that bone. You better watch that snake. You better watch that one because the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Do I agree? Do I disagree? I'm just saying I understand now because Shamea, girl, you've been sitting on prolonged hostility for over 10 years. Bitch, you've been waiting to get your lick back for over 10 years. You're still mad. You had 10 years to iron this out, right? Number one, 10 years to iron it out about her not coming to your wedding. And then what was the other thing Drew said? Let me rewind it just a little bit. Hold on.
She was hurt by the fact that Porsha didn't come to her wedding. She was hurt by the fact that Porsha did not ever congratulate her for getting a peach.
I'm the reason you got the fucking peach. What are you talking about? I congratulated you when I referred you. That is your congratulations. Shamea is with the shits, and that's what y'all don't understand. If Porsha got you on the show, what else do you need? What else do you want? That in and of itself is enough. That tells me Shamea is immature and maybe immature in some areas, and also emotionally immature. Damn, what you want me to do? Throw you a party? I'm the reason you are here.
Nor ever take her out to celebrate her.
And now you want a party. The party is get in there, do your job. Do your job. I think Shamea has learned how to play a long game in the streets of Atlanta. Shamea does stuff for how it looks, but not necessarily the authenticity of it. So she wanted Porsha to play the social game that she plays, whether it's genuine or not. That's what it sounds like, according to Drew.
I would never know this. I would never know this. And I never would have thought that that was the case because Instagram shows like this great, beautiful, friendship.
And neither would we, because to date, outside of perceived jealousy, perceived envy, Porsha ain't never said anything. She just didn't go to the wedding. So Drew is confirming, I would have never known this. Porsha ain't said nothing. Porsha ain't giving me no indication that anything is wrong. Porsha has held her cards close to her heart. All we know is Porsha cares for her. Porsha got on the show. But we know everything because of who? Shamea. Y'all, that's called a smear campaign. Shamea came on this fucking show and she's trying to smear the name of her friend, and she was trying to backdoor her friend by getting the numbers aligned in her favor.
But there was a plethora of things that Shamea said that I feel like Shamea needs to vocalize, right? Because that's her story, that's her pain, that's her journey. But she had a lot to say about how she felt like Porsha was not a good friend to her, and that she has been a very loyal friend to Porsha. And
so she talks shit about Porsha, been talking shit about Porsha. But when the cameras start to roll, she pretends like, no, I have no idea. Angela's lying. I never said that. I never said that in that manner. Yes, you did. And not only did you do that, you came on this show to try to take your own fucking friend down. With friends like that, who needs enemies?
And we only encouraged her because myself, and I've always told Angela, I told Sonia, and how I've lived on this show is speak your truth and just be you. Mm-hmm. And that's all I can say. And so we encouraged Shamea to do that. And I think with us now knowing this and Angela speaking to Porsha, it was bound to come out. And it did. It came out.
Do you think Shamea is just tired of being the background singer in Porsha's life?
Yeah, I think that Shamea, first and foremost, is such a humble spirit.
She is.
It doesn't matter what you're tired of. That's what you signed up for. And if you don't want to do it, don't do it. That is envy. That's coveting, what Angela has said. So now we know who the destiny swapper is. Shamea is wanting what Porsha has, y'all. It took us some time to get here. I know some of y'all are going to disagree. Go ahead and tear it up in the chat. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's what we're here for. But it took us some time. We say, who is the real Slim Shady? And it looks like it's Shamea. But her same old sad song is, I've been a good friend. I've been a good friend. I've been a good friend. Girl, you pretended to be a good friend, but the entire time you wanted what that woman had. Now, most of us feel like she wanted what you had by way of man. I don't believe that no more. I think Porsha is too self-absorbed to want anything that you have. I think Porsha actually thinks she's better than you. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Porsha looks at you and idolizes you. I don't think Porsha looks at you and say, I want what she has. I don't. Not anymore. I don't.
Such a pure soul. I just love her. I just love who she is, and she's so dynamic, and she has so much energy, and she just seems like she puts on a happy front. Like, I'm gonna just be the life of the party. I'm gonna make everybody laugh, and she.
That's not a pure, dynamic, genuine soul, a person that is fronting, Drew. So that's what I'm saying. Like, because who tries to take their friend down that just did them a favor? Who tries to take down a woman that put them on? A jealous, envious, low-key snake that's sitting, waiting for the right moment to strike?
And she doesn't really get an opportunity to open up about who she is and how she's feeling because she's never been in a position to. So the friend of the.
You know what? What you mean she's never been in a position to? How come Shamea has not lived her life outside of these cameras? That's not on Porsha. You got a whole husband. What you mean she's never gotten a chance to open up? I'm right. I'm right. So you mean to tell me all of these years you've been sitting back in the cut in the dark corner, waiting for Porsha to throw you a bone? Waiting for a Scooby snack to be invited in before you felt complete, whole enough to tell your story? You say you have all of these things going on in Atlanta. Why are you waiting for Porsha's door to open for you?
To the show, she became the friend in real life. The cheerleader on the court was the cheerleader that I think she was for a lot of people, but particularly Porsha.
But that's the part that Angela is saying. Shamea is sneaky. Shamea is the kind of girl that's going to pretend to want the best for you, pretend to cheer you on. And no matter how long it takes, she's just waiting for her chance to knock you down.
So seeing her in this position, I felt like this was her opportunity to exhale and release and exhale. And I just felt for her because I know what it feels like to be in a relationship, friendship, and you feel like you can't really speak your truth, but you want to clear the air. So hopefully you got.
That's BS. I'm not doing that. We grown women. We got to stop playing victims and I can't speak my truth. If I can't fucking speak my truth in a friendship, then guess what I'm doing? I'm exiting stage left. If I can't have a conversation with you and you can't have one with me, then we're not going to be friends. Being a woman is not a disability, okay? So we got to stop acting like we're disabled when it comes to standing up for ourselves and utilizing those skills and independence to be able to speak up for ourselves. Now, we listen, we're going to have to choose, ladies.
you guys can get to a better place. And I don't know if they will get to a better place. Of course, I don't wish breakups, fallouts on anybody. It's so hard and it's heartbreaking to see. But this was something she, definitely was at a breaking point and needed to get out.
I would not care.
Are you looking to
I
protect
don't
your
care.
family from power?
I wouldn't give a damn where she was. I don't. And I mean that with all my heart. You have 10 plus years. You've been friends with her ever since
Outages,
you was
but
a
don't
little
want to
girl.
spend 10.
Oh, ever since you was a little girl, to say what you mean and mean what you say. So I don't feel no ways about it. That's a grown-ass woman that sat back and plotted and waited till she got on this show to try to run the play. Girl, please. Girl, please.
Lapdog?
Oh, yeah. I stand on that. Get out.
Do you think Shamea is Porsha's lapdog?
Oh, yeah. I stand on that. I stand on that. And I said it. You'll see. I said it a couple of times, actually.
You said it already.
Okay, yeah.
And so do we. That's it. That's all.